academically, being on time, being present in the building, being here, doing their job and working hard. Ultimately, the plays will come. The plays will come, and the production will come, success will come, and that's really a result. What you've seen over this time is you've seen young men that are great football players, but also better teammates. And that are willing to put the team first. And so, what happens on game day is you see those guys end up making plays and being in the right spots because they've done all the things on the back end to put themselves in that position.
Just ask you about Jeremiah, since you mentioned him, but what has he done in the last year where he's put himself in a position to be the guy that you can turn to? He's like, TR, I need to blow like Jeremiah.
Last season he was a guy that traveled with us frequently, and so we knew from a talent standpoint he had the ability to play for us from the line of scrimmage early down, on third down, special situations. And so we want to keep him coming along. And again, he's a guy that prepared the right way in the offseason, spring ball, executed the calls, and he's a guy that just needed more snaps. And so we were willing and eager to put him in those situations, and just glad to be able to do that this year. And so he's just a consistent player. And so if you're dependable, you're going to play ultimately. And so, we trust him. We trust him to do his job. And so we're going to put him in those moments when his name is called.
What does he bring to that spot that makes him effective?
Yeah, we need that position to be solid, physical, consistent. A guy that can be physical against the run game, especially in the interior of our D-line. You take a lot of double teams in that spot, so you need a guy that's tough mentally and physically. And so he brings all those elements to his game. And, the biggest part is the mental part, to be consistent in this league against, the type of offensive lines we'll play against and the run schemes we'll face. We need guys that they're going to play with a base, contact balance, and play with extension. And he brings that to his game. And he's learning from T-Rod. He's learned from guys before him as well. So that's what makes him special.
What kind of growth have you seen your defensive linemen make throughout the season?
Yeah, really the growth that I've seen most is just our ability to focus on win-or-no mentality, one game at a time. And so it's easy to focus on things beyond right now. But the toughest thing is to have that mental fortitude to just focus on today's practice, getting better today. And so that's the growth I've seen from the unit, from the whole group. And leaders like Dennis Brigg and T-Rod Edwards have guys like that that can speak life into the players, into their teammates, and to keep them locked in on the moment. That's just good for the whole group.
Have you seen? Have you seen as far as being able to stop the run, doing that in the Nebraska game? How exciting is that as you enter more Big Ten play?
Yeah, that was awesome. And that's the focal point for winning football games at the University of Illinois. Run the ball, stop the run, and cover kicks. And so our job on the defensive side of the ball is to defend the run. So up front, it's our job to do our job, knock back the front side, squeeze the back side, play with good fundamental footwork, extension, and finishes the ball ultimately. So that's what allows us to be in those positions to do that.
What do you feel like? So I think you may have answered this when I walked up. Like that nose guard position, you had a guy in their final year really blossom in that last year. Like, why do you feel like you've had that over the course of the last 3 or 4 years? Guys have been able to step into that role and play it that way.
Yeah, I'll point back to the first guy, Rod Perry. And it always starts from the guys that come before us. You got a young man like Rod Perry, who tried to do what was coached, worked his tail off. He's very skilled. And then you had a young man, Calvin Avery, right behind him, watching how he practiced, prepared, how he played. And then when Calvin got his opportunity, he executed. And then we had Denzel Daxon, the same story. You had a young man that did the right things in the offseason, changed his body, watched a lot of tape, tried to do the things coached, and executed on game day. And you had T-Rod Edwards, who saw that. And so a healthy program has a group of older guys that are doing the things necessary, tough, smart, dependable, and is feeding into the younger guys if we're paying attention. And Coach B fosters that type of environment. And so that's why you're seeing that. You're seeing guys that are consistent, that come through the door and they're willing to do their job. They focus on the moment. they're working hard, and they're putting the team first. And so ultimately that leads to success and production.
What do you feel like your second-year linemen have given you through 4 games to this point? I know you talked about Jeremiah earlier, they throw Pat and Alex in that mix.
Yeah, I've been pleased with all those guys, man, especially the second-year guys, the guys that have been in the program and went through the developmental lifts and went through the look squad grind, and really pleased with Pat Farrell, Alex Bray, and Jeremiah Warren. You know, those guys that are continue to come on and take a lot of snaps for us. You know, Pat Farrell, you know, you see him out there quite frequently. You know, last game he had 25 snaps, Alex Bray 20 snaps, and you know, those guys, the more reps they get, the better they're going to get. And the biggest thing, they're willing and able, you know, to do what it takes to win, play winning football. And so I want to keep those guys coming along, keep their confidence building. As long as they continue to bring that perfect effort, you know, we're gonna continue to have success.